Hey, how you doing? It's Phil Thatch, and I am in the Cohutta Wildlife Management Area, Cohutta Wilderness, which is in North Georgia. And I'm at a place called, this is a creek that runs down through here, and it's called Jigger Creek, and this is Upper Jigger Creek Falls. Usually when I go to a place like this, I go right at sunrise, so the light is at its best. And I try to go when there's good flow. And you know, I've decided to take a vacation this week because this was when I was hoping there was going to be the peak in fall color. Well, that happened about 2 or maybe even 3 weeks ago, so my vacation is late and there's been almost no rain. But yesterday, when Heather and I were at the Tennessee-Georgia game, we got some rain, and there's not supposed to be any more rain, so I decided to come here today. Now it's 12:30 in the afternoon, so that's no good, but at least there is a little bit of flow here at Upper Jigger Creek Falls. So I'm going to get out my Canon R7 and a couple of lenses and maybe some filters and see if I can capture this waterfall. Now, I've captured it before with really good color in the area, so this is definitely not going to be my best Jigger Creek shot, but I'm going to enjoy the exercise today. I've got my first composition completed, and today I brought my old tripod, my old aluminum weighs a ton Manfrotto, and I've replaced the Manfrotto head with a Surui head just like on my light tripod, and I love that head. But seeing as how all I had to do was hike from up there where the truck is to down here, I didn't worry about carrying my lightest tripod. I do have it with me, it's in the truck. But I framed up this composition, and there's a little tree growing off of that rock, and I tried to set the camera up in such a spot to where that little tree was not blocking any part of the waterfall. So there's waterfall to the left of it and waterfall to the right of it, but the little tree's kind of standing alone. And I've got the Maven filters. I'm using the Maven filters again today. I've got the circular polarizer on. I had the 3-stop on for a little while, but my exposure ended up, I like f8 with this lens, the 10-18. It seems to be at sharpest there, and with the circular polarizer and the 3-stop, my exposure was a little bit longer, nearly 2 seconds, than I liked for this particular waterfall. So I took the 3-stop off and I stopped down to f11 and made a shot at about, I think it's 1/5 of a second, that has turned out okay. So let's look at that now, and who knows, when I get home on the computer I might like the longer exposure better, so we'll look at whichever one I like the best. Here is that shot, and I did end up liking the 1/5 of a second version the best, with only the circular polarizer and no other filters. Just a beautiful little waterfall, and I was really happy to go there today. I framed up another shot, and this time I've kind of come halfway up the waterfall, so I'm just shooting at the main part of the waterfall here at the top, and it comes down and splits into kind of almost a triple, and then it has this little pool right here, which a lot of times in higher flow it'll flow right where I'm standing, but right now it's just pooling right there and then going over this way and down. So what I've done is I've framed up just the top, and I did a faster exposure like I did on the previous shot, and I liked it, but there's this one spot right here that has some bubbles that are kind of going in a circle. So I wanted to maybe catch that swirl. Whoa, don't fall. So I put on top of the circular polarizer, I put the, I just stood in water that got into my shoe. I put the purple Maven filter, which is the 6-stop. I put that on and got a little bit longer exposure, about an 8-second exposure, so I could see a little bit of the swirl of those bubbles in this shot. Okay, I moved back. I was sitting about right there, and I've moved back just a little bit and framed up another shot kind of like this right here. And I made a couple shots with the 6-stop around 15 seconds. It's a little darker from further back, and I like those. And then I put the gold one on, which is the 10-stop, and made some 30-second shots, but I think I'm going to like the 15-second shot better. It was the 15-second shot with the 6-stop that I liked the best from this location, and there are a couple of swirls in the bubbles in the little pool at the base of the waterfall before it goes down to the next level below. Now I've come way downstream. I mean, not way downstream, but at least 75 or 80 feet downstream, and I was going to try to get the compression shot from a distance. And it's really, this is a beautiful shot if you've got some fall color, but I'm just a week or 2 or maybe 3 weeks late. I don't mind the mild flow in this shot, but I'm just a little bit late. And I got off one shot, and I had the 6-stop and the polarizer on, but I didn't polarize it all the way. I left a little bit of shine in the water in the foreground just to show that it's there instead of making it perfectly clear. And then the sun peeked through and kind of messed up the left-hand side of the shot. But while I've been talking to you on this shot, I think I'm about to get a cloud, so I'm probably going to shoot some more. So this shot is at 18 millimeters. The first 2 shots were both shot at 10 millimeters, both with that 10 to 18 lens. And this is a shot that I make here pretty much every time I go. And this is the only time I've been there with no fall color or not very much fall color. It's a beautiful place when you can catch the color just right. Okay, now I'm in the exact same spot, except I've changed lenses. Now I have the kit lens, the 18 to 150 on, and I've put a 55 to 67 adapter on so I can put my 67 to 77 Mavens on. And I'm still using the circular polarizer, which is blue, and the 6-stop, which is purple. And now I'm compressing the scene a little bit more. I was shooting at 18 millimeters, which was as long as I could get on the ultra wide. It's getting a little bit weird now. I'm at 150 millimeters. That's 240 millimeters full frame equivalent. And I'm not shooting at the top of the waterfall or the middle. There's a little tiny spill, maybe, I don't know, 18 inches tall, that goes into a little pool before this little stream down here. And I'm shooting just at that. I've lowered the camera down some, and I don't know, it's weird, but maybe it'll turn out all right. Well, things have taken a dramatic turn for the worse. I had another idea on that last shot. I got the camera down really low, and I wasn't at 150 millimeters anymore. I went for a little bit less, so I had a lot of foreground, and it just was going to have to be focus stacked. So I made some shots to focus stack it manually, and then I thought, you know what, this camera has internal focus stacking, so I set the gap to 2, where the default is 4 out of 10 for the amount of focus in between each picture, and I set it up to do 50 shots, and I started my shot, and it shot all of the shots, and the camera was in the process of stitching those together, and I said, you know what, while it's doing that, I'll make a video clip. And I started my video clip, and when I did, I lost my footing on this slick rocks, and I fell backwards, and I was fine. Everything was cool, and then when I looked up, I couldn't see my tripod, and my tripod was laying over in the water. I saw this on the front of the camera, which is not good, and it took me a while to find this. This was in about 6 or 8 inches of water. This is the rest of the 18 to 150 kit lens, so it's busted in 2. Here is the R7, which looks fine. Doesn't even really have a mark on it. The trouble is, it's full of water. So I think it's probably dead. Well, here it is, the very last photo made with my Canon R7 before its untimely demise. And this is actually a focus stack with 4 photos. It's the 3 photos that I made when I was going to try to do a manual focus stack, and one of the photos from when the camera was doing an automatic focus stack, which it didn't complete because it fell over and crashed. And the last photo came out pretty good. I'm really happy with this photo, if not the outcome of the camera itself. So I guess I need to rush home right quick and order another one. And after I order some, I'll work on these pictures, and hopefully you've seen some pretty cool pictures in this video. And if so, give me a thumbs up if you like the content, subscribe, and hit the bell. And as always, I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye-bye from Jigger Creek Falls. In case you're curious, the battery survived, the Maven filters survived, and fortunately, the memory card survived. But the camera and the lens were destroyed, and I do have another camera ordered, and it will be here in 2 days. Bye-bye.